How's it going, Vault Hunters? Welcome to a Borderlands 2 weapons guide. Today, we're going after the legendary doll pistol known as the Hornet. Now, the Hornet can only come in the corrosive element and is a base game item, which means no DLCs are required to get this item. The red text reads Fear the Swarm, and know that the prefix of your Hornet may be different to mine, but it'll always be some variation of the Hornet. To find this item, we first need to go to a fast travel station. Once there, select the location known as Claptrap's Place. When you load in, open up your map, and on the left side of the screen, you can see within the red circle, we will find an enemy known as Knuckle Dragger. Now, Knuckle Dragger is a giant bullymong that you have to fight within the first 5 minutes of the campaign. Due to him being a red health bar enemy, fire damage is very effective against him. In addition to Knuckle Dragger, you can also farm Hyperius the Invincible, though I don't recommend it due to him having a more cluttered loot pool, as well as being a raid boss. He is also locked behind the Captain Scarlet DLC, which means you do have to pay in order to farm this boss. If instead you go to your fast travel station and go to the southern shelf, once you load in and look to your left, you'll see a bunch of mountains. If you climb those mountains, you'll be able to find a loading zone that will lead you into Claptrap's Place. This will spawn you directly behind Knuckle Dragger, making it the most efficient way to farm for the Hornet, which should mean multiple Hornets and eventually getting the desired role. That is if the RNG gods allow it. The closest non-unique item in the game to the Hornet would be a purple doll pistol in corrosive element with a matching part and prefix. Although its purple counterpart has a higher base damage, the Hornet makes up for it with its hidden ability of splash damage. Now, how splash damage works is it'll hit the target once for its base damage and then a secondary explosion of its element. In the Hornet's case, that secondary explosion is 80% of its base damage. Splash damage also allows you to hit targets without actually hitting them. For example, if you shoot the ground or the wall, they will take the splash damage, but not the impact. This also works really great if there is a big group of enemies together, allowing you to damage multiple enemies with one shot. Now that we know the ins and outs of the Hornet, let's put the damage to the test. I have 3 of its main damage prefixes going up against each other, one being rate of fire, one being base damage, and the other being the 2-for-1 variant. I have a Rough Rider shield on me, a Slag Grenade, and an Elemental Relic. I have 0 skills other than my phase lock, and the badass bar is turned off. To test the damage of these weapons, I'm going to do something that I'm going to call the phase lock method, where I will phase lock a target and DPS them until the duration is over. We have the 2-for-1 on the left, base damage in the middle, and rate of fire on the right. As you can see, the base damage bonus doesn't quite make the cut, but the other 2 are pretty close, so let's try it again with Slag. If you're looking for a God Roll Hornet, you're first going to want to get the twin attachment, which you can see under the barrel. This allows you to fire 2 bullets instead of 1 for every time you pull the trigger, essentially doubling damage. Second, you're going to want a dull grip. This gives us a manufacturer bonus of an increased reload speed as well as magazine size. Thankfully, the barrel is locked, which means every time a Hornet drops, it'll always have a dull barrel. Having dull parts too will also increase the dull passive. And lastly, the sights. They don't matter. Choose whatever one you prefer the most. So that pretty much does it for the Hornet. Before I go, I just want to quickly explain that I try and show these weapons off in their most bare bones state, because not everyone plays the same character or the same play style, so I don't want to show a gun off on a certain character and not perform the same way. And the only reason why I'd use a damage relic is just so I can actually kill the target that I'm shooting, because it's an ultimate Vault Hunter mode, so the regen is insane. Because I know I could use class mods or skills and everything like that and just make everything look really good, but that's not the point of this series. It's here to show you how the gun works and functions without any of the fancy stuff, so you can make builds around that. But if I had to recommend characters to use this weapon, I'd recommend Maya for her abilities to increase elemental chance as well as damage, and Axton because he has skills that can increase the damage of the splash damage that comes off of the Hornet. That's basically about it. I'll leave you to watch me attempting to shoot Terramorphous in the face with the Hornet, and hope to see you next time.